Hello everyone, I'm Cassandra.
And I'm Mom.
And this is Millennial and Mom. And in today's video, we want to recap and wrap up the season 10 of Married at First Sight with our 10 memorable moments. So let's get into the video. Before we begin the countdown, we want to thank you guys for supporting our Married at First Sight videos. We want to thank you guys for liking and commenting and all our new subscribers that we built up over the past few months. It's really been cool and awesome, you know.
Very.
I'm going to have to bring it down to millennium terms for that one. But we had some discrepancies in our comment section. Para y Mom.
Oh.
Because some people did not agree with what she said about Michael. And I was one of those people too. But I got what she meant by him taking baby steps. But for me, I'm just like, I don't care.
Okay, so, but I asked for this and we asked for this. So in the last episode, Michael said that he was aware of his inconsistencies and he should have did better and did more and all this other stuff, and he could have been a better man, and I gave him kudos. Why I gave kudos to Michael was, and I did clear it up in the comments for those of you who asked, or as she said, came from my head, which I thought it was good back and forth. I wasn't upset or anything, but
I thought it was funny.
What I meant by that was, when Michael said he cleared up his insecurities, is his inconsistencies. He said that without dragging up everything he said as the show went along, because he always said stuff like, oh, with my childhood this, how I grew up that, what I had to do growing up, how I had to make different things in my mind to make me feel like I belonged. So he said he was inconsistent without bringing all that up. So I gave him kudos for that, because I'm like, you know what, that's about time, because you can't blame your childhood for the reason why you were inconsistent in this marriage. So that's the reason why, and thank you to all the comments.
Well, I didn't care either way.
Well, I did not give Michael a pass for being a liar, because he's a liar, but his reasons why he said it was inconsistent without bringing all that baggage, which is true, even though we all have baggage coming from a different relationship, but in life in general. But in this relationship, he said he was inconsistent, and he recognized that. That's the reason why I gave him props. Not because he said anything else, but because he recognized that, and I gave him and I still give him kudos to anybody who recognizes their inconsistencies. Not because you're a liar, but that was my meaning. So thank you for all those who gave me comments on that, and all of you who understood what I meant.
And for those who didn't agree, I agree with you, because I don't care what he said or what he did.
Well, we're going to agree to disagree.
So our 10th spot goes to Jessica and Austin for the reunion when Austin gave Jessica the ring. I thought it was a cute moment. It was definitely more
personable,
upbringing, inspiring, what the show is supposed to be about moment. That's what I thought about it.
I did too. It was really nice. Our number 9th memorable moment was episode 14. And that was the before decision day. And that's when Katie blew up at Derek. Derek was flirting with Taylor. Brandon and the job the next day, and him not wanting to let people in the car to drive him. Just all kind of things this episode.
So the whole episode?
The whole episode.
It was a mess. It was definitely one of the worst cabin experience that I've seen on Married at First Sight in general. Because everybody had issues, everybody had problems, and it was a mess. Our 8th spot goes to Michael in episode
13, Secrets and Lies.
When he brought out the pay stub, aka the contract, aka the numbers weren't adding up according to Mika, who so happens to have a math degree.
Right.
I don't know how he thought he was going to get through that. Oh, well, maybe because he didn't ask Mika what she did. But that was actually funny to me, because he really brought that contract out with all confidence.
Well, he was trying. 7th position is also episode 13. Katie dashing on Derek's hopes and dreams. When she found those poems he wrote in the 9th grade, that cooler that an old girlfriend wrote, just everything.
Especially when she tripped on about the poems and was like, well, what did you know about love in high school?
Right.
I don't even want to know what Kitty did in high school, because at this point, I'm sure she was up and over and in between places. Our 6th spot goes to good old Zach when he finally moved in on episode 12. Well, he just spent the night for the day in the other room. I was so happy for Mindy in that scene because she was getting everything she wanted. They were playing games. They were eating, even though she bought the food.
She bought his favorite wings.
Food.
Yeah.
And he didn't bring nothing but some flowers and something for the dog.
I don't even remember. He probably brought the usual red wine.
True, he did bring some red wine.
Wait, no. What he did bring was his backpack.
Right, with some sweatpants. And Minnie was like, oh, I'm going to wear these.
Right.
I was like, girl. So he definitely gets the 6th spot.
Episode 9, the L Word, Taylor's IG video.
The one that blew everything up.
The one that blew it up. Because it's already blown up from Panama, if you ask me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there was just no coming back from the IG video. I mean, remember she cooked dinner for Brandon. She made a really nice dinner, remember, because you even commented on how good the dinner looked. And had a nice time. And then what took that away was when Taylor took the pictures of the dinner, and Brandon was like, why do you have to do that? Why you got to put everything on social media? And then they had an argument. And then next thing you know,
He grabbed his old trusty backpack. Taylor's
outside making an IG video about how come because she can't find a man with a job, 6'3", all these other things. And
right. That's the moment when I wasn't so pro Taylor. I wasn't pro Taylor, but I was understanding where she was coming from because Brandon was the one giving all the rah-rahs and the theatrics.
Yeah.
But then we saw what he was really talking about, what Taylor be doing on the low. So I was like, Taylor, you got to go. You in the wig got to go.
In 4th place is episode 8. Home is where the spouse is. And the most memorable one about this is that's one the episode where all the family and friends came to meet again after they came back from the honeymoon. But the scene with the most drama was Brandon and Taylor. Taylor's friends came over first and they're like, girl, what are we going to talk about? You know, Taylor's like, don't go in too hard on him because they already know about what happened in Panama. You know, I said that we were going to hit the reset button, so try not to go in hard. So then when all the family members came, Brandon's side and Taylor's other friend, that guy who in other episodes invited her to that barbecue.
That didn't make the cut.
They're around talking, and then they were talking about, how'd the trip go? And once that started, that's when the floodgates opened. That's when Taylor's friends were going in on Brandon, saying like, well, we heard, and we don't know what kind of person you're going to be when the cameras are off, and just grilling him.
Right, and Brandon's aunt, she cut all that out. She was like, you not going to talk about my baby. He don't do this. He don't do that. And I was like, well, have you seen the show yet?
Right, well, that was in the early stages, so.
Our 3rd spot goes to the honeymoon. The honeymoon had so much going on from Brandon and Taylor, them not communicating anymore, and him dissing her when they all met up with other couples.
Yeah.
Then we had Mindy and Zach when Mindy found out that Zach was not attracted to her, and then she took a walk and said, I don't know how this is going to go on. And she still stayed in the same room with him. And then we had Mika and Michael. As soon as they hopped off the plane, they was already beefing.
Right.
They haven't recovered since that day.
No, they haven't.
We learned about how she said that he said he wanted to do the Uchiwali on that day.
Well, Michael denied that he wanted to have sex.
Sure did deny
he denied it. It's not on camera. He denied it, but Mika was so adamant about that, so I'm actually leaning towards Mika. But maybe it's the way that Michael phrased it. Maybe he didn't quite say it that way, but maybe beat around the bush.
You doing it again?
No, but maybe, I'm saying maybe he beat around the bush to say it to her, but I believe Mika because she was so adamant.
And then they got to separate rooms.
Yeah.
And they were basically like separate for the whole trip besides one day, right?
The last day they came together. I'm like, they might as well come together and enjoy it instead of being in the room.
I would have enjoyed it regardless.
Right.
A free trip is a free trip. And so for our second spot, this wouldn't be a real millennial mom if we didn't agree on who should take the number one spot. So we decided to have dueling number one spots because my number one has been number one since day one.
Yeah.
And that is when we learned Katie was still in touch with her ex because she told him that she was going on Married at First Sight. And then he replied back that he still loved her and she was all conflicted.
That was episode 2, Here Comes the Stranger, with that Katie reference.
But it wasn't even just that. It's the fact that the experts knew all of this.
They did. Pastor Cal knew because...
Mind blown.
Yeah, Pastor Cal knew because I think on episode 4 or 5, they sit down with him and talk about how things are going, and that's when they mention it.
So I'm just like, since that day, I never liked Katie. And I'm like, so they set Derek up. They played Derek. Derek, he don't need a redo, but he needs a higher check because he was played and set up by these experts for the TV, and that's not cool at all.
My number one, the dual number one, is episode 11, Anniversaries and Secrets. That's with Mindy, Zach, and Lindsay. That is the number one spot for me.
When we found out about Lindsay?
We found about the secret.
What was the secret again?
That Lindsay was in his DMs. And they were messaging, had back and forth conversations. And that's when, Mindy found out that Lindsay said that she didn't have no more text messages. But Zach tried to deny it at first and said it wasn't really like that.
They did. Oh, yeah, they were on the phone.
Yeah.
And Mindy was like, but you don't even call me on the phone.
Right.
I was like, Lord. But I don't know. I feel like mine's was what set off the whole tune of the show.
Well, I guess.
I think yours was like the second half because in another one that didn't make the cut, when Zach had his secret about Mindy.
That's secrets, anniversary secrets. That's that episode. When he tried to say like, well, the secret was that her ex wanted to pick her up from the honeymoon. Same episode. That's why it is a dual number one, because we couldn't decide who was 1 and who was 2. So that whole episode with Zach, and we waited, was, I don't know, that was mind blowing to me. That set the whole premise off for the show. Who you could trust, who you couldn't trust, with Zach and his seeming to be on TV, wanting to be on TV or have alternative reasons, to Michael's lying, seemed like in every episode per Mika, and just Brandon and Taylor's drama. Just so many anniversaries, secrets, and lies that fell apart on that day.
Okay, you all. So that was the end of Married at First Sight season 10 for us. We just want to wrap it up, give you guys our 10 most memorable moments. This season, to me, had to been the worst season. Somewhat entertaining, but more so MTV reality TV show than actual people finding love. I don't know if it was from Pastor Cal being on Pride and Prejudice. Where was Dr. Pepper? Dr. Viviana basically carried them all.
Yeah.
So hopefully they'll do something better for next season of Married at First Sight.
And I'm looking forward to seeing who the experts are going to be with Married at First Sight Australia. Those particular cast members, it looks like there's lots more couples on there. So
there's 12.
So we will definitely be here for those reviews, so look out for those.
Thank you guys for going on this journey with us. This is our most watched video, and we really appreciate all the likes, the comments, all the dialogues that you guys have given us. So hopefully we see you guys for Married at First Sight New Orleans in Australia, and for our other videos as well. So let us know what your top 10 favorite moments are, if you agree with us or not. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and you share this video.
And as always, live simply, be grateful.